Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. That is not Cris Cyborg. That is undefeated Bellator star Justin Gonzales stepping in on short notice and taking the co-hosting duties. Justin, how's it going, man?
Hey, my day's going great. I already got some work in. I'm happy to be here, share this time with you. I'm doing great, man. Getting ready for the fight. Undercard for I am on the main card actually for Cyborg, where she's going to be the headliner. So
exactly, good timing getting you on here with that, with everything going on, and let's talk about that fight, man. Huge opportunity here, fighting Aaron Pico, Bellator 271, November 12th. Like you said, same card as Cris Cyborg. Just first, your reaction to finding out that you'd be fighting Aaron Pico, because this is a banger of a fight.
Oh man, it's a huge fight, man. People want to see this. Two tough athletes going at it, similar styles, putting it on the line. Man, if I take a dub here, puts me in a good spot that I could legit be in title contention. So it's very exciting, man. That's what we're after, is that belt. So anything I got to do to climb that ladder, get closer. Aaron Pico is my next step to getting there. So
a bit of vindication for you as well. I mean, those of us on the regional scene that have been following the regional scene knew how good you were. There's been a lot of opportunities I think you should have had in the past. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. And now you get this mega fight. Did part of you kind of feel like finally they're taking notice? Because not a lot of guys, I'm sure, are getting a fight with Aaron Pico, and at least Bellator is recognizing the talent level you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Like we've talked before, and we've been at this game for a while where, I mean, man, I was taking out everybody in front of me. And I mean, being on big shows, taking home a lot of belts, putting out some big names, and just things weren't happening. It was kind of funky. So yeah, now the ball's in my court. I have it within my grasp. I just have to take it. I just have to go perform, do what I do. And hey, man, taking the hype away from a guy like this will be really big for my career. So I'm excited about it, man. About damn time.
Were you expecting this type of fight after your last one? Great win in your last fight, but you know, again, like I said, Aaron Pico's not a guy that a lot of people get to fight.
Absolutely, yes. I kind of saw it coming. I felt like it was a great matchup, and it's two fighters who people really want to see fight. They want to see who's going to come out on top. After taking out number 9, I felt like it made sense. I want to climb the ladder. I want to climb the rankings. I tried fighting a couple other guys, and a couple people declined it. So I think it just made sense, man. Pico was on board, wanted to do it after he had his baby and whatnot. I wanted the fight. I was on board. So, hey, man, let's give the fans what they want. Let's put on a show. And, hey, man, whoever wins this fight's one step closer to the belt. So.
And I got to bring it up just because we're on the channel. This is the catch up. Fighting on the same card as Cris Cyborg. That's got to be awesome for you as someone who I know is a fan of the sport as well. And with how long Cris has been in the game, that's got to feel cool for you.
Oh, it's got to be amazing, man. I'm a huge fan of hers. Man, she goes out there and puts it on the line, does the right things outside of the cage. How can anybody not be a fan of this girl, you know? And, dude, super dominant in the sport, a legend, if you will. So it's cool, man. I'm hoping I can go pick her brain apart and talk to her a little bit after the fight, maybe, you know, just kind of take some knowledge, understand the game a little bit better. And I'm sure she has some wise words to share, you know.
Well, I'll put in a good word here, and I certainly think you stepping in here might make that a little bit easier, which is great. Just last couple things on the fight. Training camp, is there anything different for this one? Bringing anyone in, or just doing business as usual? I mean, you're winning, so you might as well, you know, keep things how they are.
Yeah, man, just a couple little things. You know, every fighter, we try to separate it and focus on them a little bit individually. But at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to grow as a fighter. So I plan on going out there and pushing the pace. I plan on going out there and doing my thing. So on the end of the day, man, we're really just focused on growing as a fighter. You know, wrestle with the UNC guys, getting my wrestling with them. I got plenty of partners to choose from, going up elevation again, getting some good partners with those guys. So I just feel like on all levels, I'm firing with the highest guys I can. So it's I feel like I'm be more than ready for this fight.
What's your prediction? How do you envision the fight playing out?
This is tough, man. I mean, if trends follow, somebody might end up on a highlight reel. And if I got anything to say about it, it's not going to be me. So he either puts people out or he gets put out. I think if I find that jaw, I put him to sleep. So let's go with that, man. I think I'm going to find his jaw and I'm going to put him out.
Love it. We have a lot going on in the world of MMA. We just had a Bellator card last week. How about Fedor Emelianenko knocking out Tim Johnson? A lot of people are wondering, how's Fedor going to look when he comes back? He's still got that power, and I think that's another reason why people can't take him out of that conversation as one of the greatest of all time.
Fedor goes out there and he performs every time against a steaming hot Tim Johnson, man. I was curious how this fight was going to go. I kind of thought Fedor would get the dub, but I did not think it was going to be so quick. I thought there was going to be a lot of grappling involved, and Fedor put the hands on him and put him down. It was a beautiful performance by Fedor coming back in Russia, beating number 2. I mean, you got to give that guy a title shot, I think, man.
I was thinking the same thing. I know, they have rankings and there's all this stuff, but let's throw that out of the water, right? Dan Henderson got to fight Michael Bisping right after, remember back in the day, the rematch. I know he had a win over Bisping, but let's bend the rules a little bit. Everyone wants to see Fedor fight for a title, right?
Absolutely, man. He's such a big name, legend of the sport. I mean, arguably one of the GOATs. And, I mean, just with such a dominant performance after a little bit of a layoff, how can you deny the man? Yeah. It's who else? I mean, he just beat number 2 with a solid knockout. So I don't think there's any questions asked, man. You give that guy a title shot.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. We also had the UFC on the weekend, kind of a weird main event. It actually ended up pretty good with Marvin Vettori and Paulo Costa putting on an all-time classic. It is Marvin Vettori getting the win. Just before we talk about the fight itself, what did you make of Costa just midweek saying, yeah, we're fighting at 205?
Man, there's a lot of rumors going around that maybe he wanted out. Maybe maybe he wanted out of his contract. Maybe he's looking for different things. Maybe he kind of planned on coming in heavy, and he wanted to be the bigger fighter. Vittori's not a small guy, so definitely I was looking forward to this fight. Both super aggressive fighters. They put it on the line and they go out there and bang. And I think Vettori put it right, man. I think Costa lost it before the fight even happened. I think having to go up to 195s, and then again they bumped it up to 205, so it's a whole separate weight class now, not even a catch weight. There's a lot of drama on the line. I personally feel like Costa didn't handle this very professionally. I feel like he could have handled this a lot differently. I feel like Vettori probably should have gotten a little bit more of his purse. This is just a big topic in MMA. People missing weight is a big deal. And 20% to miss weight, so some people who are getting paid a lot of money, man, that's worth it for them, because that extra couple pounds could have made a significant difference in how you recover and how you perform. I mean, in this case, they end up just switching the whole weight class so it was 20 pounds bigger, but in a smaller guy, I mean, those 2 pounds can be a game changer in how you perform. So just a whole bunch of mess on the table, a little bit of drama. I think the fans loved it, everybody on Twitter chirping, but I think it came out as it should, and Vettori got the dub. So congrats to him. And I mean, just handling it like a professional in this game. Sometimes that's what's more important. So.
And quickly, we got a UFC card this weekend. It's actually a daytime card because it's in Abu Dhabi. It's actually early in the morning. I'm on the West Coast, so I got to wake up at 7:30 just to watch the main card, and even earlier for the prelims. But that's another story. The fights, a couple of fights I wanted to ask you about. We obviously got the Dan Hooker and Islam Makhachev fight. I love this fight. Hooker stepping up on short notice, coming off the win over Nasrat. Islam needing a step up in competition. He's getting it on Saturday. Islam a big favorite. How do you think that fight plays out between Hooker and Islam?
Man, Hooker is I mean, they're both gangsters. But I think obviously everybody knows Hooker's more of a striker, Islam's more of a grappler, which is why this game was invented, man, to match up these two different fighting styles and see who comes out on top. Yeah. Hooker looked really good in his last fight, and especially with having such a messed up camp, I was really surprised by that. But he went out there, handled business, and it's hard to take Hooker out of the equation because he only needs to catch one shot. And if he does, you're going to sleep. But I feel like Islam's hot right now. I feel like his grappling is so good. I feel like he has really strong striking. So if I had to choose between the two, I think I'm going Islam.
And then we got to mention the interim title fight, Petr Yan, Corey Sandhagen. Another interesting fight because, Sandhagen's been finishing guys left, right, and center. He lost a really close fight to TJ Dillashaw in his last one. And Yan, some people say he's the uncrowned champ, although he did make the illegal knee, so that's got to cost him something, right? I personally think they should have made the title vacant, but that's a story for another day. Who do you like in that one? Yan about a 2-1 favorite in that one, almost 3-1.
I mean, how do you go against Yan, man? That guy is a killer. That guy goes out there to hurt people. And I'm honestly a really big fan of him. I'm friends with Corey. I get to train with him sometimes. Such a unique matchup, which also very good for the fans. Corey coming off of a very debatable loss to Dillashaw, which, I mean, I kind of feel like he had good arguments on why he won the fight.
I thought Corey won too. Bias aside, I think he won that. It was close, but I think he won.
But I thought he landed the more significant strikes and kind of picked him apart. But hey, man, I'm not a judge. That's not my job. I'd like to see Sandhagen, and I think he can. I think he's very diverse striking. He's got knockout power as he's displayed time after time. I think Corey brings home the dub with the upset.
And last one, obviously the main event, the redemption story. I don't think you'll see a match like this in the future with two guys that have been counted out time and time again. Jan Blachowicz, the light heavyweight champion, Glover Teixeira getting another title shot at 42 years of age. Who you picking there? Because that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I mean, I'm a fan of both those guys. They've both been in the game for a long time. Glover's kind of really been putting things together, but John is a beast, man, and he's the champ for a reason. I think he's kind of figured some things out. I think he's grown into a different athlete and becoming the champ. I think his confidence is through the roof with a big win over Adesanya, pretty dominant win, if you ask me. I think John takes it.
Speaking of big wins, if you go out there and get a big win here on November 12th, how soon are we talking about you fighting for a title? Because this is the name, I think, in that division that could really sort of transcend the rankings just because of who you're fighting. I'm sure you've thought of the implications of this fight, but what are you sort of thinking here?
Shoot, man, it's really hard to say. I would love a title shot now if I could get one. I think it's a very exciting fight. I think I have a lot of things that differ me from other fighters, especially matching up with AJ Mckee. So I'm really hoping I get him before he goes up to 55s is kind of the talk right now. He is very big. So, but I'd like to catch him, man. I don't want to leave any doubt that I am the undisputed champion. So with somebody leaving the division, sometimes it leaves doubt in fans' minds. And hey, man, that's what competition's all about. There can only be one champ. Not like boxing where there's 5, 6 different champs. There can only be one. So I think a win over Pico, let's not jump the gun. Let's take care of first things first.
Yeah.
I think that skyrockets me, man. And I think there's a couple other guys, Burnell, Borix, obviously Pitbull, and then Mckee and Sanchez. I can't skip Sanchez either. All of them. Tough fights, murderer's row. But hey, man, whenever I said that ranking is my hit list, I meant it. So I will take on any single one of those guys, and I'll put my O on the line and show them what's up. So we'll see how it all plays out, man. Bellator's got some things in line. I'm sure they don't want me jumping over people, but hey, I'm here to fight. I'm here to make this a career and make some money, make a statement, let the world know who I am. So.
And a pretty good co-host here today, Justin. Thanks so much for doing this. This is the catch-up. Make sure if you're watching this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, @LynchOnSports. Before we go, though, I'm going to give the undefeated fighter the last word here. Justin, where can people find you on social media? And anything you got to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yo, what's up, guys? Again, thanks for having me, James. I really appreciate it. Justin Gonzales here, a.k.a. the J Train, choo-choo, baby. If you guys want to follow my story, you guys can give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, JTrain_1991. You guys can check out me hanging out with my family, my nieces and nephews. You can see me training. You can see me just going out and enjoying my life outside of training, I'm a pretty open book. I like to put some bets on the line. So if you guys got any questions, hit me up.